What we're going to explore isn't about forcing yourself to feel different or pretending problems don't exist. It's not about faking positivity or fighting every bad thought you have. The real way to stop being affected by things or people goes much deeper than that. Most people miss it because they look for solutions outside themselves, not realizing that true change can only come from within. Have you ever noticed how some people stay calm no matter what happens? They handle crises and uncertainties without falling apart, while others seem to be on the edge, overwhelmed by even small problems. You might wonder if it's just luck or personality, or if there's some secret to mastering their emotions. The mistake many people make is thinking life just happens to us and our emotions are just a natural response to events. But that's not the case. Everything we feel and experience is shaped by how we see the world, our long-held beliefs, and emotions we haven't managed to control. It's like wearing colored glasses that tint everything we see. If these glasses are clouded by fear, resentment, or guilt, then the world seems to mirror those feelings, not because life is unfair, but because we can't see beyond our own internal filters. Today, we delve deep into the ancient wisdom of Stoicism, which teaches us not just to survive but to thrive by transforming our internal landscapes. This philosophy doesn't just offer cold comfort or simple platitudes. It provides a robust framework for personal development that has stood the test of centuries. As we explore these transformative principles, I invite you to join me on this journey. If you find value in what we're discussing, a simple free favor you can do to support this channel is to hit the subscribe button. And I encourage you not to skip any part of this video, as every segment builds on the last to offer you a comprehensive guide to mastering your internal world. So buckle up, and let's unlock the door to a more resilient, more stoic you, where external chaos no longer dictates your peace. You know that feeling when everything seems to be going wrong, and you feel like life is just happening to you? It's a common misconception that we're just passive players in our own lives, reacting to whatever the world throws at us. But here's a Stoic twist on that. The idea that external events have direct control over our emotions and well-being is not only misleading but can also keep us trapped in a cycle of reaction and victimhood. The Stoic philosophers, like Marcus Aurelius, taught us something profound about this. He said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." What he meant was that our interpretation of events, not the events themselves, determines our feelings and reactions. This concept is echoed in modern psychology, where Jung pointed out, it is not what happens to us that affects our behavior, but our response to what happens. This misconception, that life is something that just happens to us, can lead us to feel helpless and out of control. It's easy to believe that our happiness is in the hands of fate, other people, or the randomness of the universe. But in reality, every moment offers a choice, how to interpret and respond to different circumstances. When you start seeing life this way, you recognize that you are not just a leaf blown around by the wind of fate but a person with the agency to choose your path. The Stoic approach teaches us to focus on what's within our control, our thoughts, emotions, and actions. This doesn't mean ignoring the reality of external events, but rather shifting our focus from what happens to us to how we engage with it. It's about moving from a mindset of "things are happening to me" to "I choose how I integrate this into my life." This shift is powerful. It moves you from victimhood to empowerment, from reaction to action. Let's dive into something that might shake up the way you view the world. You are the creator of your reality. Now, this isn't about bending spoons with your mind or anything supernatural. It's about understanding how deeply your personal perceptions shape your experience of life. It's the stuff that the Stoics were all about, and it's been backed up by plenty of modern psychology. Marcus Aurelius once said, "Our life is what our thoughts make it." That's a powerful statement. It means that the quality of our lives is not determined by our circumstances, but by how we respond to those circumstances. This idea also echoes through the work of Jung, who believed that between stimulus and response, there is a space. In that space is our power to choose our response. In our response lies our growth and our freedom. He's telling us that our power lies in that choice, the choice of how we interpret and react to what happens around us. When you grasp this, you start to see that blaming external factors for your unhappiness or stress is a trap. Sure, external events are real and can be challenging, but they don't dictate your internal state unless you let them. This is where the Stoic practice of focusing on what you can control comes into play. You can't control the weather, the traffic, or what someone else says about you, but you can control your thoughts about these things. For instance, if you're stuck in traffic and you start to feel the frustration boiling up, that's a moment to pause and think, is my frustration going to clear the traffic? Nope. But it can spoil my mood and my day. This is your chance to switch gears mentally and decide not to let the traffic jam control your emotions. Maybe you turn on an audiobook or some music you love, and just like that, you're using the time productively, even enjoyably. It's all about reframing. Instead of viewing the situation as a disaster, view it as an opportunity. This doesn't mean you're faking positivity or denying the annoyance. It means you're choosing a response that enhances your life instead of one that diminishes it. This ability to reframe situations is not just a neat mental trick. It's a fundamental shift in living more consciously and more in tune with your values. By embracing this perspective, you don't just react instinctively. Instead, you respond thoughtfully, turning potential stresses into opportunities for patience, growth, or even joy. This is the essence of creating your reality. You cultivate a state of inner tranquility that external circumstances can't easily disturb, embodying another core Stoic principle. Peace comes not from the absence of trouble, but from your ability to deal with it effectively. Now, let's talk about taking back control. This isn't about seizing power in a traditional sense. It's about reclaiming your internal power. The Stoics had a lot to say about this. They believed that true empowerment comes from mastering your own responses. Seneca, one of the great Stoic philosophers, advised, "The greatest remedy for anger is delay." This simple idea is about introducing a pause between experience and reaction, giving you the chance to choose rather than just react. It's a fundamental step in taking control of not just your emotions, but your whole life. When we talk about empowerment, often what we're really talking about is self-mastery. Jung once said, "I am not what happened to me. I am what I choose to become." This idea is at the heart of empowerment. It suggests that your past and your circumstances don't define you. What defines you are the choices you make right now. This is a liberating concept because it means no matter your situation, you always have the power to choose your path forward. Taking back control starts with recognizing that you have this power. It's easy to feel like life is something that just happens to us. When something goes wrong, it's tempting to throw up our hands and say, "I can't do anything about this." But the Stoic approach challenges us to look again. Even in the direst circumstances, while we might not be able to control the situation itself, we can control our perspective on it. Every challenge, every obstacle, thus becomes a stepping stone to a more empowered self.